and it's going to be green light racing here at Monza. Here goes Noah. He's going to try and go wheel to wheel with the leader, Vic, once again, back on the top step. We did say take it easy. Oh my goodness. Sinead's going to go for it here into 14, 15. Side by side, is it going to be Mercedes or is it going to be a BMW?
Welcome everybody. Today we are here again at Phoenix Sim Sports for round 3 of the TCR Championship Season 16 we're at right now. We're at Watkins, Glen, a 5.5 kilometer track located in New York State, not the city, because I mean you don't see a concrete jungle here. 41 meters of elevation change is what we have here today. A very fun fast track which these drivers will be taking on. And what else will be taken on is the championship, which Marcel Miku is leading right now by 6 points from Christian Krzyzewski, who's 110 points down in the championship right now, with P3 being Anthony Perkin, a man who we know for making some very, very nice late dive bombs each race, which we obviously enjoy. But yeah, here we are then. During qualifying, laps are being set right now as the stream's being set up, so please be patient. But yeah, I must say I'm very excited for this. Earlier we had MX5s, which had some great racing, and yesterday we had the Tennis cars, which I joined myself for a one-off, and may I say, very fun, very hard racing, lots of chaos that this track can bring, especially turn 1 and the bus stop chicane after turn 4, I think it is. So we'll be hoping to see some good overtakes there.
There we go. Apologies for the delay. Yeah, we've got the audio going. There we go. Yeah, apologies. For some reason, it's what Wavelink likes to do when things are finally progressing smoothly after a couple technical issues, and then it just decides, hey, I want to throw in another curveball and delay the qualifying session by another 2 minutes, or our coverage of it at least. The drivers haven't been inconvenienced in the slightest by this little technical hassle. But yeah, my name's Yanis, this is Arthur. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As we've said, it's round 3 of our Phoenix Sim Sports Season 16 TCR Championship here at Watkins, Glen. And at the moment, we have got 10 cars out on the circuit. Any names that pop out to you here, Arthur?
Well, I mean, of course, Marcel Miku, Weber Nirasto, Krzyzewski, and Perkin are the ones that, you know, really speak to me the most because of their past overtakes, their past moves, their past races. So I'm really looking forward to see what they can do. And of course, the other drivers will be along in that battle and be with us to deliver us a great race.
It's going to be fantastic. And I've also heard that apparently we have got a whole team in tonight, actually, that goes by the name of... Sorry, again, having to scroll through all the notes. We've got... Sorry, I just need to find it. Tradition Sim Sports. They're apparently joining us tonight. Tradition Sim Sport racing team. Just a kind of cool, fun fact there for you. Not sure who's representing them. It's probably either Sebastian Schoenfeld, Eric Hoffman, or Daniel Bermudez. The other names all seem familiar. Florian Waller, that's another potential new name. Andy Romianowski, that's another potential challenger here.
Well, I mean, we have 3 very German-sounding names right now, and teams are usually of 3 people, so I think it might be them, yes. But, I mean, we'll definitely have a look into that. Bear with me for a second. Teams. What was the name again?
So we've Tradition Sim Sports. So Lone Mavericks is saying, yeah, it's Waller, Schoenfeld, and Romanovsky. Romanovsky. I'm assuming it's Russian, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, the joys.
WSFE. I mean, that happens in quite a few languages where the WSFE, I mean, also notably in German.
Oh, I didn't know they did that in German.
I mean, it's kind of a blend. I mean, sometimes you say Wasser, sometimes you say Wasser, so it's a bit in between.
I mean, the little niches in the languages are the fun parts to learn. They would make them different, I guess.
Fun parts depends on what you count fun.
True.
At times it's very annoying. German language is not an easy one to learn.
No, and it seems as though this track is not an easy one to learn for Marcel Miku, who's not managed to set a valid lap time yet, and he's only got 3 minutes left to do so. Currently one of only 2 drivers not to have set a lap time tonight. Everyone else has set a good lap time. Andy, he's on pole with a 154.07. Florian Waller of 154.1. Then it's a half-second gap down to Anthony Perkin of 54.6. Very close between Schoenfeld and Perkin, actually, for P3. He's only 0.064 off of Anthony Perkin. Here comes Marcel Miku across the line at 154.138, taking P2 just ahead of Florian Waller. Now it's going to be a battle to see whether he can make it onto pole position. Andy Romanovsky, he's going to be defending his position hard. He's still on 154.077.
It's clear they're using all the exit of turn 1 right there, all going off the curb. It is allowed. With these cars you can't take it. I mean, the curbs are very kind to the suspension here compared to other cars. For example, Tatus cars, they can't spin there, so with them you should be careful. No, these TCRs, as you will see right now in the chicane, eat these curbs like it's nothing. Look at him flying over there, the suspension absorbing all of it. Nothing unstable really. And yeah, I think Waller now improving. I mean, he improved a bit, so he's closer right now to Romanovsky. He slotted himself into P2 compared to Marcel Miku, who was there before. I think Miku right now has new challengers late into the season.
He had a new challenger last week. He had Milos Mashko come in and upset the scale of the championship, taking the race win from pole position and holding on to that lead all race along. And yeah, as you say, now he's got Andy and Florian both in P1 and P2. If he can jump them on the start, it might just about be his race, but it's not looking hopeful. He's only got one more lap after this to set a lap time, and this one in particular isn't looking too good. Andy Romanovsky, he's also in a similar position, but Florian Waller, he's been on a flyer. He's finally managed to get that 154.1 improvement. He's almost on a 154.1 dead as Miku comes across the line. Unfortunately, no improvement for him. Here comes Romanovsky. Any improvement for himself as well? No, 0.08 seconds off though. Good consistency is then going to be a question as to whether Waller can get an improvement, half a second off. All 3 of them will be looking for improvements into the next set of laps. It is going to be the last lap, and Sebastian Schoenfeld is also just ahead of Waller actually in P4 at 154.2. Anthony Perkin also managing to improve to a 54.3. This is looking close in our top 5.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's only one race. I'm already calling a bit of dominance here. It's going to be Miku against 3 cars working together pretty much for points, for wins. So even though it's round 3, I think it's going to throw a massive curveball into Marcel Miku's championship hopes.
It depends also obviously on whether they're staying the whole season. It might just be a one-time thing. Maybe they're just trying to figure out, is this something that we might want to commit to? Is the competition here good? Well, I think they've found some competition for Marcel Miku. Andy Romanovsky, faster sector 2, it's a 42.2. It's looking spicy. He's going to be setting an even faster lap time than before. Maybe, if he keeps it up. We don't know about Marcel Miku's lap time, though. The sector times have gone. We have no clue as to whether he's improving on his lap time at the moment. We are all waiting on the edge of our seats. We're all just waiting to see how his exit will compare to the rest of the grid. Across the line, it is only those top 4 cars on the track at the moment. There we go. Marcel Miku takes pole with 53.8. Andy Romyanovsky next across the line. He had a best sector 2 time. Here we go. He's only got 2 tenths to improve. And Andy takes pole as well at 53.6. Florian Waller and Sebastian Schoenfeld also about to cross the line at 54.2 for Sebastian. No improvement there. And no improvement for Waller as well. To the line, though, Marcel Miku manages to take P2, but it wasn't enough to stop this Romyanovsky Audi, who takes pole position with a 153.6.
I think they found their competition, man. I mean, everything is very close right now. I mean, 2 tenths to Marcel Miku, but if you look at the first stages of qualifying, they were all within a tenth of each other. So, yeah, very close. Unfortunate for Krasbowski, though, since he is a bit far back compared to the rest, despite being P2 in the championship right now. So he'll definitely have to fight for positions today.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think at this stage it's going to be all about his gap to Christian Grzybowski, really, who is actually on track today. Sorry, almost said he wasn't. He qualified P6. It's going to be all about managing that gap to his closest championship rival at the moment. His previous rival, Milos Mashko from last week at Mugello, is currently on 50 points versus the 116 that Marcel Miku has due to missing out on that first essentially double points and 2 sprint races on the first round of the season. And yeah, now it's another 2 sprints. As long as he can manage that gap to Christian, I reckon he'll be in good stead for now. But yeah, he then needs to try and face up to... he's then going to need to try and step up his game with Romyanovsky, Waller and Schoenfeld.
I mean, it's clear Miku is bringing a great fight, but I wouldn't be surprised that if they keep racing in this league, one race they'll have a, full 1 to P3 lockout on the podium. Because, I mean... Look at that dominance they're displaying already right now. Marcel Miku, the lone car on the front line of the grid with the different color in the top 4. So it's really nicely polarizing. Would have been better if the new team also had red on their car, so it's a nicer red versus blue situation.
I mean, you can't have everything in life. I mean, green versus blue isn't as bad. I do like the color on these new cars.
I love green, man. It's a nice techno look. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks nice.
It does. It looks amazing, especially with that Monster Energy logo running in the background as well. That just above the green cars is fantastic. So here we go. Florian Waller starting on the front row of the grid alongside Marcel Miku in the Honda Civic. Sorry, it's not Florian, it's Andy who's starting on the top. Here we go. The red lights come on. And it's go time, and 10 cars go roaring down towards turn 1 to start 2 sprint races, and there we go. Marcel Miku right off the line gets a good run. Florian Waller drops all the way down. Christian Bajowski also up. Sebastian Schoenfeld is the one that gained a lot out of that start. Anthony Perkin as well. The 2 Tradition Team Sport cars have struggled on that start. Christian Grzybowski making the most of that situation, as has Marcel Miku, our usual lot, doing well to hold up against Tradition Sports right off the get-go. Florian Waller still locked in a battle with Christian. Andy also side by side with Weber Narashto, who's decided to come out here tonight again. And here we go, into the bus stop we go for the first time. It's going to be tight through here, but you can see how the cars just eat those curbs. And actually managed to get through there all in one piece. I wasn't expecting that. Maxim Beldich now fighting with... Who's that? That's not... is that Eric Hoffman? Yes, that's Hoffman. He's having a battle with Bermudez, bringing up the rear. That was quite an eventful couple first corners there.
I think Romanovsky stalled it on the start, or just didn't practice a start enough, because, I mean, he was parked there. Everybody almost overtook him. He was forced to the wall to allow other cars to go faster, because otherwise it would have been crash after crash after crash, I think.
Yeah, something happened there. I have no clue what happened there, but it was good sense to get over to the inside of the circuit and allow everyone past. That was really good thinking. At least he's not in the way for anyone else coming through. So Marcel Miku then takes the lead of the race, having started P2. Florian Waller, he's dropped one position there. Anthony Perkin is a big winner. He's up 2 positions from where he started. Christian Brzezowski up 1. And the biggest loser in this scenario basically is Andy, who stalled right on the front of the grid. He's now down in P6 and putting some pressure on the Cupra ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Marcel Miku again a great start, and he's also kind of extending the lead right now. So I think he put quite a bit of practice into just race pace, which of course is very, very important. As you see, Grzybowski goes side by side with Romanovski up the S's. Bit of slipstream there from Waller, so that might help Romanovski get the overspeed. But I don't think Grzybowski is going to give up at all. I mean, no, he still holds on to it, so...
Lovely. Oh! Waller almost into the wall. Almost like Waller. Hey! Sorry.
Hey.
He's lost out to Ibn Rashid there. Eric Hoffman comes round as well. That's Florian Waller down to P7. Actually, Hoffman holding back just slightly so that his fellow Audi driver can get back in front of him. We can't even just say fellow Audi driver. It's a fellow teammate. It's not even just, oh, it's another Audi. It's an actual other, it's your actual teammate. Anthony Perkin, in the meantime, applying some pressure to Schoenfeld for P2, 0.4 seconds behind. And in the first 5 minutes, he's got to be a happy chappy. He's made up some good positions here at the start. If he can keep up this momentum, we could potentially see a P2 finish from him.
Well, yeah, I mean, knowing Anthony Perkin, especially from Mugello, if he can send a move, he will. I mean, look at how close he is already towards the other Audi. You cannot discount him. He's gonna keep going for a turn 1, the chicane, it doesn't matter. If he wants it, he tries to get it.
Only thing is, of course, that gap to Marcel Miku is growing slightly. It's opening up to about 1.8 seconds. Andy Romanovski on the straight managing to get past Christian Grzybowski for P4. So he's somewhat recovered from the earlier embarrassment, or is in the process of recovering from that. Well, I say embarrassment, it's more like, yeah, I mean, it happens to everyone at some point. You know, it's got to happen at least once to everyone. I'm sure Max Verstappen has had a stall on the start line at some point in his career, and, you know, well, it is what it is. Although, to be fair, I'm not wondering whether that might be something to do with Christian's car, because look at how quickly Weber is gaining on that Cupra.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's especially crazy since Weber and Narasto didn't really practice a lot. I mean, it's more of a last ditch joining the race to just compete because he had the time. I mean, he's in a completely different time zone, so it's already a bit more difficult for him to join up. He's all the way in China, so to see him get that pace right now and move and make the positions almost is very great to see. So yeah.
And I mean,
great to see that.
Absolutely, especially considering that he's currently P4 in the championship and he missed out on last week's race. At least he signed out, so you know he didn't get any points against him, but he has got a 24-point deficit to make up to Anthony Perkin. But Anthony Perkin is 3 positions ahead of him though, so yeah, he really needs to get a move on if he wants to start earning some points and start clawing his way back in this championship. He does still have the second sprint race though. That could potentially be the saving grace for many of these drivers.
Yes, it could very well be. I mean, Marcel Miku still extending that gap. It's genuinely phenomenal to see him at work here today.
Oh, and Anthony Perkins sizing up that Audi ahead. Sebastian Schoenfeld now about to be victim to the Perkins lunge up the inside. How there was no contact there, I don't know. They still somehow managed to keep it within track limits as well. 0.5 seconds between them. Very, very close racing there.
No contact, but I think it really is message sent. Be careful, because he makes the move if he has to. I mean, what more can you say? He just goes for it no matter what. and he almost always makes it stick. He did lose a bit of time right now for getting a bit of a lesser exit, but does it really matter? He's still getting closer and closer, no matter what.
Yeah, at this stage is going to be pace difference, isn't it, between Schoenfeld and Perkin? There's a definite difference in pace there. Tyre management not going to be a factor. Well, Perkin didn't really struggle with tyre degradation last week either. So, it's not really something to take into account too much, but oh, wait, is that Marcel Miku? What's happening to Marcel Miku as he hit the wall? Yes, Marcel Miku has dropped down to P3. Sebastian Schoenfeld up into the race lead. Anthony Perkin up into P2 and suddenly finds himself a second behind Sebastian now. Here comes Andy as well, half a second.
I mean, also looked like a bit of connection issues which the server had last race and yesterday. I mean, I remember when he was trying to overtake me into the SS, Marcel Miku, he kind of lagged back a bit. I lagged back on this screen, so it might be server side, might be not, but very unfortunate. But now he just has to set the pace down and catch back up, because Anthony Perkin has lost quite a bit of time towards Schoenfeld. So we'll see how he handles that.
And he'll also have to handle the pressure from Romianovsky, who's just set the fastest lap right behind him, 0.2 seconds, heading into the 90 at turn 1. You can see Anthony Perkin bailing on that exit slightly as well. 0.2 seconds between Andy and Marcel Miku. It's going to be tight as they head up the hill through the S's and into the back straight, and then ultimately onto the inner loop. It's 0.1 seconds. Here we go. This is going to get very, very interesting very, very quickly. It's going to be a big send. We have no clue. A slight defensive nudge from Marcel Miku, who's kind of hinting there. He's defending that position. I'm not sure how that line was, though. That was a very interesting line through there compared to that of Andy.
What I'm wondering is, will Marcel Miku still have the pace to make all the moves slick? Because Anthony Perkin keeps on losing the time that he had before. It's 1.2 seconds right now. Quite a bit of pace to be had still. So 11 minutes, or will we have it? I don't know, but I really hope so.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. 11 minutes to make that move. We know Anthony Perkin is starting to slow compared to the race leader. Andy's desperate to make a move at some point. Another driver who's desperate to make a move is Florian Waller, who's just made a position on Weber Narasto for P6. Another one of our tradition sim sport cars making a move on another fallow Audi. There he is, just in the background. Yeah, it was a fairly lovely move, fairly standard up into turn 1.
Yeah, look at Marcel Miku right now, really getting closer and closer to Anthony Perkin. And then the tradition also carrying lots of overspeed right there as Marcel Miku makes a move, and we also see the tradition car make the move. Almost 3 wide, not completely yet.
Oh, it's
Marcel
close
Miku
there.
takes it.
Oh, Marcel Miku, you have treated us. Lovely textbook overtake on Anthony Perkin for P2, and now he's left that Audi to deal with another fallow Audi, the Audi that was giving him trouble through qualifying, the Audi that started on P1, now in P4. That couldn't have worked out better for Marcel Miku, to be honest. Now he's got that gap to make up to Schoenfeld in 10 minutes, 1.8 seconds. We've seen a bigger gap before.
Yes, indeed. I mean,
Ooh.
9 minutes. He's yet again lost a slight bit of time. We'll see if he'll be able to do it, but yeah, I don't want to discount him, you know.
Oh, Anthony Perkin.
Oh, Perkin still making moves, man.
Oh, he's applying a lot of pressure there, isn't he? He's also desperate to hold on to that position. P2 was his. Oh, there it is. A loss of control for the Civic on the way into the corner. On the exit, we'll have to compare and see what they look like. Andy closing the gap. Anthony Perkin opening it somewhat. He's going on the defensive. Romianovsky potentially in with a chance here by the time they get down to turn 1 again. But that is if Marcel Miku doesn't mess up again. It seems to be a recurring thing nowadays, actually. It's really unfortunate. But here we go, through the boots, the hill, turn 9, turn 10 upcoming, 0.8 seconds between Marcel Miku and Anthony Perkin now, but only 0.1 seconds between Andy and Anthony Perkin. You can see the little screen to your left showing the viewpoint from Andy's car, and then Anthony Perkin on the main screen. Here we go, on the main straight, 0.3 seconds. It's been a good exit from the Tradition car behind. Is it a shape up for a lunge into turn 1? Is he about to give Anthony Perkin some of his own medicine? Not this time round.
Oh, Marcel Miku still not a lot of improvements towards Schoenfield. It's gonna be something, but yeah, Andy Romanovsky right now exiting the slipstream, getting a bit of dirty air, but he will try to carry through the overspeed through this section. He's on the racing line right now. Anthony Perkin is on the inside, but who will break the latest? It looks like Romanovsky's still kind of alongside.
Oh, wow.
Perkin,
that was close.
What a move. What defense. The way he still manages to hold on, it's insane to see.
That was incredible. I thought he lost that position completely. It was just the fact that he couldn't kind of tuck back in behind Romanovsky, and he just doesn't back down, does he? Half a second between himself and Romanovsky now, but it does also mean that the gap to Marcel Miku has opened up to 1.8 seconds, and the gap between Sebastian Schoenfeld and Marcel Miku has also opened up to about 2 seconds now. All of this fighting obviously then distances the drivers from each other, and we might actually see someone other than Marcel Miku finish on the top step of the podium yet again for the third race in a row.
Could be, but it's still kind of early to call, you know. It is, after all, sim race. Anything can happen, but he's slightly catching up. I don't think he'll have enough time to get into P1, but still P2 after hitting the wall. It's good. I know he won't be happy with it. I mean, he lost the position, but it's his qualifying position. You can be happy with keeping that, in my opinion.
No, P4 after a start right at the front. He can't be happy right now, but he is applying some pressure to Anthony Perkins, maybe applying a little bit of lotion to the burn from the start. Here we go, almost side by side through the S's already. I think this has compromised Anthony Perkins' line through there, and Romanovsky just cruises by to take P3, but Anthony Perkin still holding on to the last hope, still holding on to that braking zone into the inner loop. Not later on the brakes this time though. Through goes the Tradition car, but Anthony Perkin carries some more speed mid-corner, goes for the cutback on the inside of the outer loop. Unfortunately unable to secure any footing there, and he has finally lost that position. Andy, with much perseverance, has made up that position, but it's not over yet. Anthony Perkin yet again on the inside, late corner into the chute. Now we go into the toe, contact between them. Anthony Perkins on the outside. There's going to be the camber about 6 to 10 degrees as they cite on their website. Anthony Perkin once again on the cutback. Christian Grzybowski draws even closer. Florian Waller also getting involved here. He's virtually alongside Christian now as well for this position. Woo! This can't get any better. Waller takes that position. Oh my goodness, and that's Romanovsky wide. Can he maintain it? Anthony Perkin around the outside. No, he's lost that, and the two Tradition cars suddenly meet themselves in P4 and P5. Christian Grzybowski down to P6. Anthony Perkin back up to P3.
What a four-way fight for P3, and that was very unfortunate from Romanovsky to go wide there. I expected him to lose him much more on the grass, but no, these cars, multi-purpose, you know, they can also apparently rally as they're slipstreaming again towards turn 1. Marcel Miku as well, almost a second to Schoenfield. It's around, I'd say, 3 laps to go, so we might see something happen. I wouldn't count on it, but it's all getting closer and closer. As you see Romanovsky right now in the slipstream, exiting the S's. Will he have what it takes? Outbrake the outbreaker himself yet again into the bus stop. Inside line from Anthony Perkin. He still has it.
Oh.
Ever so close. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know what to call right now because they're all so close together. It's a train right now. 4 cars move around the outside. Will it stick? No, it will not. As he goes side by side with his teammate right now, Romianovsky versus Waller. Run down into the hairpin right here. Not side by side anymore. Oh, and we still have Krispowski just cruising along with them. Still close, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Oh, this is amazing. 4 cars all vying for the final spot on the podium. Anthony Perkins defending that position like his life depended on it. Well, his life will only last for another 3 more minutes on this racetrack for now, before another 20 minutes starts in just a few moments as well. Once that checkered flag is waved, it's a dodgy exit for Romianovsky. Here comes Waller. Here comes Christian Grzybowski also using that slipstream up the inside. Will the tradition cars swap positions here? Maybe Sebastian has a little more luck, but oh, wow, that was close. Just about enough space left between the Cupra.
And also Marcel Miku, 8 tenths off right now.
He's closing the gap.
Because if he takes it next lap, also known as the final lap, I must say that I would say Anthony Perkin driver of the day. I mean, look at his defense, look at his moves. Marcel Miku might take the cake if he can overtake his way back into turn 1. Into P1, I mean.
Turn 1 is probably going to be the overtaking position for him, as Florian Waller and Andy Romianovsky once again, well, sorry, I say once again, for the first time, swap positions. Maybe Florian will have a little more luck pressuring Anthony Perkin, but has that swap maybe cost them this position? Because they might not have time to close that gap before the end of the race. It's 0.6 seconds. Anthony Perkin does seem to be slowing these cars somewhat, causing a bit of a compression in the field right here. And as you were saying earlier, Marcel Miku, he was closing that gap. That's now back up to 1.1 seconds, and it's expanding.
Oh, yeah, I spoke too soon, I think. I mean, I've had worse commentator curses than that, but still kind of sad to see as Waller 3 tenths, Romianovsky 2 tenths. Krispowski seemed to have dropped back a bit, which is pretty unfortunate to see for the current championship runner-up, but still valuable points on the table for him.
Oh, and as we head into the final lap of the race, it's going to be very, very tight. Well, is it going to be final lap, or are we going to see what? I think we're going to see one more lap, actually. It's not the final lap yet. We have one more to go, folks. 0.2 seconds between Florian Waller and Andy Romianovsky. It's 0.3 seconds between Waller and Anthony Perkin. Here we go. You can see that Catch Me license plate. Well, they've caught up to him. Let's see what he can do under pressure. Once more on the defensive line. There's contact. Wide goes Waller, not into the wall this time. Romianovsky takes a hold of that position, as well as Christian Grzybowski. He makes a position up into P4, and now Waller is under pressure from Wiebe Narashto. This battle that we saw a lot earlier has now suddenly reconvened for round 2.
I mean, look at how much Birkin lost from that. I mean, I thought the sole taker of punishment would have been Waller, but no. Birkin, P7 now. Very unfortunate.
Oh, man, I didn't even see that. Anthony Birkin
exactly.
Now P7.
It surprised me. Lots of grass from him there as well, but I mean, we saw Waller go wide, but I thought Birkin was fine. Apparently not.
Yeah, because the focus was just, the focus was on him, but this is heartbreaking, to be honest. Anthony Perkin resisting every single effort that Tradition Simsport team can throw at him, and he's resisted every single effort, and on the final lap, that's where he's lost it. So disappointing.
I think Miku is losing mainly on straights, because Sector 1 and half of Sector 2 is just pure straight line speed, and that's where he's losing compared to the last few corners where he's always gaining. So I think that might be his Achilles heel, as he did close up by quite a bit now.
And here we go, across the line, Sebastian Schoenfeld is your race winner for race one of round 3, I should say. Marcel Miku takes P2. Sebastian Schoenfeld from P4 on the grid, taking the race win. Andy Romianowski recovers up to P3. Florian Waller in P4. Christian Grzybowski in P5. Wiebe Narashto smashing into the wall at the end of the line for P6. Anthony Perkin, a very disappointing P7 for him. Eric Hoffman, P8. Daniel Bermudez still yet to cross the line, and Maxim Beldich in the pit lane. He ran out of fuel. Man. I mean, it's one position difference there, one loss there, but come next race, you're going to be on the front row, buddy, so don't you worry. You will have your chance. You will have your chance. As Luigi quoted in Cars at some point, just before Guido proceeded to completely destroy any other pit lane and any other pit crew in existence, shall I say.
Front row about to be painful. I mean, painful, but maybe fun and chaotic, I must say.
Oh, yes. I mean, chaotic is going to be the word for it, I reckon. Because, I mean, let's have a quick look at who's going to be on the front. So we've got Daniel Bermudez, who will start in P1, starting from pole, essentially, even though he didn't set the fastest lap. It always messes with my mind. Maxim Beldich will start P2. Eric Hoffman, P3. Wiebe Narashto, P4. This could be that difference in position between himself and Anthony Perkin, that difference that he needs to close the gap to P3 in the championship at the moment. Christian Grzybowski in P6. Anthony Perkin P4 for Christian Grzybowski, P5 for Anthony Perkin, P6 for Sebastian Schoenfeld, P7 for Florian Waller, and then Marcel Miku and Andy Romianowski rounding out your grid for the second race in round 3. And we've got some more comments. Danny BQ, my pace is the worst. Oh man, it always sucks to ask this, but which car on the grid are you? Because unfortunately, usually the usernames don't quite match the usernames between Assetto Corsa and Twitch, so we can't quite kind of correlate who is who. It always feels a bit funny saying it, but unfortunately it's a legit issue for us. So Danny, let us know who you are on grid, and then we can join you. We sorrow with you, Mr. Bermudez, but I'm sure you will have this next race under wraps. I'm sure you'll be able to put out something there, and hopefully pull home some decent points for the championship. And the great silence falls upon the commentary box. But this might be a good time to mention that we are using AC Friends for our TCR mods. So if you're interested in seeing what they can do be sure to join their Discord server. They've been very kind in allowing us to use these mods. And we really appreciate them just giving us access to these. If you want to find out more, just go join their Discord server. Come join our Discord server, and you will be able to find out much more and potentially get involved in these races. I mean, I think there are still a few spots left in the TCR Championship.
Well, I mean, not only TCR, there's also ACC, LMU, and other races in AC. So lots of opportunity here. I really recommend it from doing a one race sit down yesterday at Tata. So always feel free to join, of course. It's a nice community, and also everyone's welcome.
Yes, that's what I love about this kind of stuff. Is there's loads of stuff that you can get involved with, and it doesn't matter where you're racing from. As we've heard, Wiebe Narashto's up in China. He's having to race at about 5 a.m, which is massive commitment, I have to say. And then there are the more convenient times for those of us either in Europe or over in America. All sorts of different places these guys could be racing from, and all sorts of different sim racing rigs to use as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes people race on keyboard, controller, wheel. Lots is possible in sim racing.
So that's a very interesting starting grid, because as far as I remember, Anthony Hopkins did not qualify in
Hopkins?
Perkin. Yeah, anyways, it's going to be an interesting race start. Here we go. 6 lights, come on, in just a few moments. There we go, up to 3, 4, 5, and 6 lights. And it is go time for the second time tonight. 10 cars go roaring down to turn 1 to start. 20 minutes of racing. It's been a good start for the Audi in the centre of the track. Marcel Miku also a brilliant start right up into P3. Anthony Perkin takes the race lead right from the off. Wieben Arashto follows him closely, so closely in fact they touch bumpers off circuit. Marcel Miku also there to join this Audi battle. This is incredible. Eric Hoffman in the background tackling Sebastian Schoenfeld and Christian Grzybowski. Anthony Perkin now on the outside for this next corner is going to be all about who can get onto the brakes the latest into the the bus stop, really. He's also got Marcel Miku to consider here going into the next corner. This is a banging camera angle. It's a deep entry for Wieben Arashto, but there we go. They all managed to make their way through there somewhat alive. Anthony Perkin P2, Wieben Arashto P1, Marcel Miku P3.
Well, yeah, you are correct. The starting grid looked a bit strange there because it was supposed to be reverse grid, and from what I knew, none of the green cars finished that low to be on the front row there. But yet again, a bad start from one of them. And what a banging start from Marcel Miku. Look at him there.
No!
Contact! Narashto spun around, and that's... No, Miku dead last right now. He will not be happy. I mean, yesterday he already expressed his dislike for this track, so this definitely doesn't help him.
Oh, Maxim Beldich right in there. Christian Grzybowski makes his way through, and he's found himself back down on P8 with a familiar face behind him, Daniel Bermudez. Let's have another little battle between these two as the whole order gets shaken up once more. Contact between Anthony Perkin and Wieben Arashto has dropped Narashto down to P5. Anthony Perkin takes P1 essentially. And Marcel Miku, an unfortunate recipient of all the chaos that has followed, down to P10. That has not gone any worse for Marcel Miku on the race start this time.
Yeah, no, exactly. And he'll want to continue the race just to hopefully gain some positions back, gain some points, especially for the championship, especially to gain a further lead on Grzybowski. So yeah, I mean, I think he must be fuming right now.
Can tell you who is definitely not fuming though. The 3 Tradition Sim Sport cars, who find themselves in P2, P3 and P4, with another car down in P6. And they're not doing too badly at all tonight, with some good results in the first race as well. And now they find themselves in a pretty decent position moving forward. Sebastian Schoenfeld, once again, the car to be applying pressure to Anthony Perkin. He's already had to go through 20 minutes of pressure from Sebastian before. Now he's got another 17 minutes to last before the end of the race. He's got 1.3 seconds between himself and that green Audi. It's going to get very interesting once that gap closes to about half a second.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I know there's a word you want to sneak into the commentary. I thought you missed an opportunity there earlier with Marcel Miku spinning out, or being crashed out, more to say.
Oh, you can say it if you want. You're the one that came up with it.
I think, ooh, bit of contact from the Tradition there with the wall. Was that Waller hitting the wall?
Yes, it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, a wall usually has a window, and I think Marcel Miku really wanted to defenestrate Weber Narashto there for that contact. But yeah, that was the word he tried to sneak in here today.
Yeah, that was better than I could ever do it, mate. Honestly, that was amazing. Just a bit of wordplay, a little bit of fun. Wieben Arashto not having fun though. Turn 1, there's contact, and he's down to P8, P9. He's dropped down there. Contact between Florian Waller and this Audi. Again, his race just goes from bad to worse yet again. Andy Romianowski, though, getting better and better. P3 from at the moment, but he's got pressure on Sebastian Schoenfeld for P2. Contact between teammates, I'm sure, is frowned upon, but contact between two different teams and causing a spin out is definitely of much greater concern to the stewards. I'm sure they're going to have a look at that.
Well, yeah, I think Narashto thought he was able to make the corner, and it looked like he did, but Waller there just trying to use all of the track really for that accident, and yeah, it came at the cost of Narashto, so very unfortunate for him. It does mean it's a free position for Marcel Migu right now though, so he'll definitely not complain about that.
He'll take what he can get. P7 is his for the time being. 1.3 seconds to make up to Eric Hoffman in the green Audi ahead, who in turn is a whole second of Christian Grzybowski. 0.3 seconds between Andy and Sebastian here for P2, while Anthony Perkin has not managed to maintain that gap from earlier. Now down to 0.8 seconds. Andy alongside Sebastian. Here we go. Up the inside. 3 turns in we go. And that is his position, at least for now. Turn 11, still slightly alongside. And Andy does manage to hold on to that for now. There's going to be slipstream down into turn 1. Could we see a lovely bit of racing here between these two? I think we already have, but there might be potential for some more heading down into turn 1. They do keep their separation there and their positions. Anthony Perkins goes wide, and so does Sebastian Schoenfeld and Andy. There we go. Once again, a battle between teammates. Andy drops down to P3. Terrible exit for the car ahead.
Well, yeah, I think Perkin right now hopes they keep on battling as much as they can to hopefully extend a bit of a gap just to be safe, but they're actually bump drafting to get closer right now. They're definitely right now in the voice chat, I think, discussing how they handle it, as we see Romanovsky have a bit of a slide there, while Schoenfeld is just half a second off of Anthony Perkins, so he'll definitely be looking in his mirrors right now.
Whew! 13 minutes to hold off an Audi that's not quite been applying the heat on full yet. It's kind of, if you imagine a gas stove, he's still trying to light that spark, trying to get that spark going, but the moment it ignites, we're going to have a battle between Sebastian Schoenfeld and Anthony Perkin. Heck, it's not going to be a battle, it's going to be an absolutely gross and disgusting war going on between these two. Not in like racing terms. Like it's I'm sure the defense will be absolutely sublime, but I mean it's just going to be an absolutely massive war between these two. World War II might pale in comparison to it. I don't know. Probably not. But in racing terms, this is going to be the battle of the giants. We've seen this battle before. Just 10 minutes ago, we're going to see this battle reincarnated for the second time here. Round 3, race 2. Here we go. Half a second between the two, heading out onto the main straight.
Perkin today, he's at his A game. He might not be the fastest, but he's showing all the skill he has to defend, to try and regain positions all around. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Perkin train here, which could help Marcel Miku to recuperate quite a few positions.
Yes, there's a lot of positions to gain though for Marcel Miku. There's a lot of positions that he needs to gain to recover up to where he was before. Sebastian Schoenfeld gaining time on Anthony Perkins here, heading into the bus stop. Anthony Perkins, a slight defensive line there, almost off circuit for the green Audi behind, and there we go. The flame has been lit on the gas stove and the heat is being applied. You can also see the brakes heating up there as well. Just a cool little fun fact as you see them go by, those little orange glowing discs on the inside of the tyre. Where will they be used? Well, they can be used massively by all of these drivers. Anthony Perkins has been using them very, very efficiently on his big lunges and good defences into places like the bus stop chicane, or otherwise known as the inner loop, before they hit the outer loop. He's also done very well into places like the chute or the toe, turn 6 and 7. But yeah, as I said, we've got this little train forming behind Anthony Perkins, and Marcel Miku closing the gap to Christian Grzybowski.
I mean, they have to keep on fighting and creating a big-ass train, really. I mean, there's still some bigger gaps. I mean, 1.7 from Marcel Miku to Grzyzbowski and Grzyzbowski to Waller is 2 seconds, so that does make it a bit more difficult, but still 10 minutes. And, you know, Anthony Perkin on his A-game, defending for his life. Which, I mean, it's gonna get difficult.
If something goes wrong, he's definitely defenestrating something through that front windshield, isn't it? He's definitely throwing something through that front windshield. There we go, turn 1. And Andy almost threw away that position, having to avoid the grey Audi ahead. That's compromised his exit. Andy's exit, though, is much, much better. Apologies, that was Sebastian's exit out of turn 1. Not quite able to hold on to that, but here we go. Pressure on Anthony Perkin once more. 0.1 seconds, heading into the bust-up chicane once more. His first bit of massive defending. Here we go, Anthony Perkins late on the brakes yet again, but it's not enough to stop Sebastian. He's made that move, and he's made it stick. P1 for him now, but Anthony Perkins going for the gap on the inside of the next corner. Turn 5, he's applied some pressure, but now he's under pressure from Andy, and the heat has well and truly been turned up to max. Here we go, he's under pressure from 2 green Audis, but it's Sebastian who's gone wide. That's allowed Anthony Perkin alongside for this next right-hander into turn 7, the toe. We've got another move up the inside for Andy Romanovsky. That might give him the advantage on the exit here on Anthony Perkins. Perkins not quite able to get alongside the lead car. 0.08 seconds between Andy and Anthony now heading into turn number 8. It's going to be close here.
It's a 1v3 right here, right now. I mean, look at the contrast of those 4 Audis. He's really singled out in the back, and he's trying to make the move happen right now down the inside. He makes it a bit of contact, a bit of door dinging, but they're still side by side. I think this is just racing contact. This comes along with it. Will they go side by side yet again into the last corner? Anthony Perkins trying to make it work. No, he slots into the middle of Schoenfeld and Romanovsky. Loses a bit on exit, but he's still trying to hold on, man. Look at him go.
But it's not enough to stop Andy Romanovsky from going around the outside into turn 1. If you can make that stick, that's a lovely move. It is indeed a lovely move. And the car behind can't quite manage to maintain the momentum to follow through on that. But Anthony Perkin did get a good exit from that turn 1. He's now alongside with Andy for P2. In the meantime, Sebastian Schoenfeld is rapidly trying to open up that gap between himself and this battle, and hopefully distance himself from this and potentially take his second race win of the day and the season. Anthony Perkin once again into a defensive position here into the bust-up, but he's lost out to Florian Waller as well. Florian Waller, rough line through the second part of that chicane that allows Christian Grzybowski to draw closer as well, and he's putting some pressure on Andy now.
Well, I must say they cannot let Schoenfeld get away too far. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Massive contact.
Not happy. Romanovsky is not happy. You saw him flashing his lights, but look at which blue Honda has rejoined this battle. Woo! Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. It's Marcel Miku joining into the mix.
Oh yes, here we go. The current championship leader coming back once more. He has a chance at taking P2 here in all of this carnage. We have got a 5-way battle in our hands here, ladies and gents, for the second highest spot and the second lowest spot on the podium. Funny paradox there. P2 is that paradox though, as the drivers make their way through the final corners of this circuit. And they have another 6.5 minutes of this to do before the end. This could get spicy.
It could get spicy indeed. I mean, I already saw Miku tap the wall there a bit again. I mean, it is a special exit there, I must say. I've hit the wall there plenty of times, broken many a suspension there as well. As Perkin defending down the inside, he makes it stick. Slight bit of bumper-to-bumper contact there, but they're all making the corner except for Marcel Miku, who shoots a bit wide there as he's trying to fight Grzybowski. Excuse me, pardon me there, but Schoenfeld, he's gonna walk away with this. The battles behind him are so interesting and so fierce that nothing can happen. As you can see, Marcel Miku move up into P5 there.
Oh, there we go. Marcel Miku making one step closer to the podium. And Romyanovsky 0.1 seconds closer to the final step of the podium as well. Christian Grabowski, no, actually still ahead somehow. They didn't swap positions. Christian still managing to hold on to that position. Anthony Perkin also holding on to that position with some more than stout defense and some questionable offense. But here we go, heading up the hill through the boot. It's gonna be, this has been absolutely incredible. This has been like 10 minutes of just incredible racing non-stop.
Like I said before, Anthony Perkin, driver of the day, really. I mean, to do this in race 1 and race 2, just keep on defending. I mean, look here, he's still gonna try and fight for the cutback into the next corner as he's being overtaken as well by Florian Waller, as they go side by side. They go side by side. Like, what more can we say? Tradition Autosports or Sim Sports, my bad. They're bringing a whole new game to this league, to this race. They should stick around because despite how fierce and how much contact it gets, it's all still pretty clean. And it's all so close, which I'm enjoying the most out of. As you see Perkin late braking around the outside, he doesn't make it stick. Florian Waller goes deep there. All Perkin can do right now is hold on to the slipstream, but he will have to defend from Marcel Miku. So slipstream's not an option. Both in the wall. I mean, I don't know what to say about that incident. It's clear Miku wanted the outside line to get the inside, but yeah, not allowed. Said Anthony Perkin, and yeah, it caused them both to go into the wall as Miku takes a potent of curb there. Wow.
Copious amount of curb. If that were the equivalent to a drink, he would be massively drunk right now, and he wouldn't know which way the track goes, but he clearly does because he's still taped to the rear end of Christian Grabowski, making their way through the chute and then into turn 7, the toe once more, and the gap up to Florian Waller for that last spot on the podium has opened up to about 1.4 seconds for Marcel Miku. It's 1.2 for the Cupra.
Well, yes, exactly, and I mean, I can already say this with confidence. Sebastian Schoenfeld is going to walk away with 2 wins here. How it's looking right now, we're also going to see a triple podium really for Tradition Sim Sports, which is crazy to think about in their first round here at Phoenix Sim Sports. Amazing display from the German team thus far, but they're still going to keep fighting for the next 2 laps. So if Marcel Miku has the pace and Muller and Romanovsky keep fighting, might have a shot at a podium, but I wouldn't count on it, honestly.
Yeah, to be honest, I almost feel, well, no, not almost. I do feel for Anthony Perkin, who's applying some pressure to Eric Hoffman now for P7. Something's gone wrong with Anthony Perkins' car, I think. He's just slowing very, very quickly, and he's lost out to Eric Hoffman for P6, considering he was only just a second ago up there alongside our top 3. But yeah, I feel sorry for him because these guys up at the top could work together to essentially block him out completely, so he has no chance whatsoever to make it up to Sebastian Schoenfeld. So maybe some questions about whether, you know, multiple drivers from the same team should be allowed to compete, maybe 1 or 2, but I mean 4, that's a lot. That's a lot of drivers.
I mean, it is a lot, but if you have a team, why not run them? Even if you only allow, for example, 2 drivers per team, you're gonna have an academy team. They're still gonna work together, so it's very difficult to judge, but what I must say is, despite them working together against Perkin, they still fight against each other in a fierce way. We still see them make contact and try to fight for positions with each other, despite fighting with somebody from another team. So I think that is pretty good and pretty cool to look at. Yeah, I mean, utter domination thus far in race 2 here.
I mean, it took them about 15 minutes to get their rhythm going and get that gap to Anthony Perkin closed down. So, I feel like if Anthony Perkin just had that extra 0.2 today on every lap, he could have come out, it would have finished very, very differently. Because, like you said, definitely driver of the day, there's no question about it. He's just been on it all race long, all round long, I should say, because there were 2 races. Just that consistency and the all or nothing mindset that means he's such a beast at defending.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's racing, sadly. Things like this happen, and it's out of your control. Because, I mean, that's one thing that I find a bit strange in the Phoenix here compared to other leagues is they don't really work with a lot of teams. You can see, Marcel Miku hit the wall there pretty badly. He's still driving. But in other leagues that I run, it's very much team-centered. Compared to here, it's lots of individual drivers, which on one hand is good, but on the other hand, if you force people to drive in teams, you will have closer bonds in racing, and you'll have people sharing setups and thus helping each other improve. But that being said, I mean, we have a team here today, Tradition Sim Sports, P1, P2, P3, and then P7. But that's still a podium lockout they'll be having here today. And the one leading that lockout is Sebastian Schoenfield. Right now, rounds up the final corner in his green Audi and wins the race with a 2.5 second gap as Florian Voller gets P2 with Romianovsky P3. Marcel Miku climbs his way back up to P4. Zbowski P5, Perkin P6, Hoffman P7. Narashto rounds up the penultimate corner right now. He is set to finish P8 around the Glen here today. What a drift into the wall, final corner. Please, man, I did not want to jinx your P8, but it will still be P8 as Max and Belgi in the Cupra will come home for a P9 and Bermudez a P10 overall. What a race it has been here today, and what a debut from Tradition Sim Sports.
Indeed, full podium lockout in race 2, race win in race 1. It's been a good day for the green Audis. I can't help but feel sorry for Anthony Perkins and Wieben Rashto on that second race, though. I'm not going to lie, they both got done wrong so very much. I mean, Anthony Perkin, maybe less so. That was a proper fight. But Narashto, that contact at turn 1, just awful. Awful what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, awful things happen. I really hope we can get some of the new guys in for an interview right now. Right now, it only looks like Belgi, Miku, and Narashto are ready to perhaps join. But either way, what a race! I think Precision. No, what am I saying? Precision. Tradition Sim Sports has the chance to just, fight for the championship despite joining so late. So I'm really excited to see that.
Oh, yeah. If we could have more challenges for Marcel Miku, the more fun we're going to have. But the less he is, apparently, even though he came in at P2 in the first race and then P4 for the second. I mean, it's still a decent points haul, but yeah, Tradition Sim Sports, they're going to be closing that gap rapidly. And then we need not forget Milos Mashko as well, who's currently P5. And then, of course, close rival Christian Grzbowski, who's close not just in points, but also on track. To be honest, I think it was pretty much his main opponent today, wasn't it? Is that Purple Cupra, just giving him pressure non-stop all day today. And I'm sure he's going to be putting pressure on all day for the next couple weeks and months to come. But looks like we got 4 drivers here in the commentary box joining us for some interviews. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, gents. How are you all?
Mighty fine.
Yeah, everyone's first. Hello. Yeah.
I do realize that was a very awkward way to introduce you guys. Hi, just say hi. And then everyone just goes, what? But yeah, so we've got Schoenfeld, we've got Romanovsky, we've got Waller, and we've got Miku joining us here today. Miku, of course, leading the championship, but now with some rivals to talk about. Sebastian Schoenfeld, congratulations on the 2 race wins. Did that work out as you planned?
Not quite. I didn't expect to be first both times because Andy was a lot faster than me, as well as what's his name, Miku. Yeah, I think it was kind of luck to be in the position to actually fight for the win and eventually win both races. Definitely did not expect that.
But your pace just seemed on point today.
Yeah, it was a short-sighted decision to race today, out of boredom, more or less. Yeah, driven some laps with Florian and Andy. Yeah, and it worked out.
Yeah, 2 hours before the race started, before the event started, before the event was presumably scheduled to 8 p.m. We thought, yeah, it would be a great idea. I mean, I come from the community which hands out the cars, so I am pretty used to them. But yeah, it was pretty fun ride. Quick 1 hour setup and practice, do some more shenanigans, and yeah, I think the hardest part with racing in this cars is getting a good start, a good standing start. The clutch point is so fucked off.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw that.
We saw that. I mean, we saw Miku, like always, launch off the line, and then some of your Audis, a bit staggering, but still catching up greatly. Are you guys planning on finishing the rest of the season? But because it's clear you have the pace to win, like you displayed today, especially in race 2 with a full podium.
Well, I think this was planned as a one-off, but maybe we have some thoughts about continuing this, but because I think it was actually quite fun. Car feels great, and I think I can speak for Andy and Seb as well that we had a bit of luck with our setup. That it worked quite well.
Not really.
And yeah, we will see. We don't know. Maybe we do continue, maybe not. But I think it was a great one-off, and we enjoyed it all. It was quite good fighting.
First, we have to do our 12 hours of Sebring next week.
Yeah, which is on Saturday. And maybe then we can focus on different events, but we will see.
Yeah, for me, it hardly depends on the driven tracks. I don't like really small and curvy tracks with front-wheel drive cars because that ruins the fun for me. Really quick to drive with them. But the track like Watkins, where you have many different situations, where you have some compression, uphill, long turns, long-term turns, slow turns. The combination is pretty good with TCRs. And yeah, maybe let's see what else is in the season, and we may or may not see us again or hear us again. Better said that.
I mean, we're more than happy to host you guys again because the amount of racing action that we saw today from you guys was absolutely incredible. As you said earlier, just about the tracks for the rest of the season, next week we're over at Imola. Then it's Brands Hatch Spa. We've got Okayama lined up as well, Red Bull Ring, Road America, Barcelona. The remainder of the tracks all seem to be fairly open. Do they sound a bit more favourable to your driving style?
Well, Imola we have to skip because we have one day later is Sebring, and I'm not gonna change from TCR to LMP2 within a day. But Brands Hatch sounds interesting. I absolutely hate Spa, so don't expect to see me there.
Same here.
Okayama and Red Bull Ring is a yes. Road America a maybe, depends on our other events. And Barcelona, 50-50.
50-50. Yeah, I mean, it's you could do it like a Christmas do, like it's your it's a Christmas race as a team. Just casually destroy all of Phoenix Sim Sports competition for the final race of the season. I mean,
Sounds so horrible.
It was incredible watching you guys race today. But yeah, I mean, Marcel, Mika, we've hardly managed to chat to you at this point as well. What happened in that first race where you lost the race lead? What happened there?
Honestly, I have no idea. All I know is I was just getting a bunch of screen freezes, and then going into uphill. Yeah, then going into the uphill ride, I just got a massive screen freeze, and I thought I was going into the wall. But then suddenly found myself in third.
I think you also had contact with other car while rejoining, or better said, while the game repositioned you, you also hit him, but that didn't look that bad for him. I think that was the gray Audi which was in P2 in the first race.
Anthony Perkin.
Yeah, exactly. Him.
Well, I mean, that's another interesting thing to talk about is that annoying grey Audi. I'm sure that all of you had something to do with this race. What was it like racing against a guy that's all or nothing? What was it like racing against Anthony Perkin?
Well, I think the challenge was like to get all three cars through it safely. So there needed to be some tactics. I mean, that made a good move. And then Andy and myself, we had quite a hard time against them, but at the end we managed. I think at least it was still a good fight. But that one move from him was not so nice, where he just dived into the corner and almost spun Andy. Luckily, these cars are front-wheel drive, so he just could.
Pedal to the metal and it's straight again.
It's easy to recover, but also easy to crash.
Those cars are really, really easy to drive once you figured out how they want to be driven. They have a certain style which they want to be driven, and that is make the rear a bit loose, not too much, just a little bit, and then you can rotate it so much nicer into the corners and just out, because you're just towing dead mass behind you.
Okay, so it's to be honest, it's almost like drifting, really, where it's all about not overcooking it on entry, but you do still need to get that slide. So how do you generate that instability? Is it mostly just trail braking, or do you try and get a little bit of weight distribution, what do you call it?
Weight transfer.
Weight transfer to the outside wheel.
You do it more with the brakes, because you just need to lift abruptly from the brake, and the car will instantly go into a sideways position.
Okay, I see.
So if you want the car to over-rotate, you go quick from the brake, and if you want it smooth, you just have to go really smooth out of the brake, or the car will just snap. It can also depend on the setup we're used.
Okay, so how does setup affect the handling of the car? Does it just kind of affect how sensitive the car is to that instability, or is it more just kind of the actual amount of instability that can be caused?
Different factors you have to see. It's for once, it's the dampers, the way you can drive over curbs. I mean, I absolutely wrecked the car every time I went over the chicane, but it could handle it. Sometimes not, but most of the time it went good. So yeah, 9 out of 10 would do it again.
I think you're in the right car for it.
They all behave pretty similar. The only real difference with those cars is the track width, the wheel width, and also the wheelbase. So from front to right, some cars are shorter, some are a bit longer, from front axle to rear axle, and some are a little bit wider or smaller or shorter. And that also dictates how the car will behave.
Yeah, because if you've got a longer wheelbase, that tends to make the weight transfer and the the instability a little more smooth because it takes a bit more time for the rear to catch up.
Exactly.
On the smaller
Exactly.
car, a little bit more twitchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and is that why you guys have chosen the Audis in particular? Is it because it's got just that perfect wheelbase distance?
No.
You know, you can balance the twitchiness, you can balance the distance, or is it just it looked cool?
You want to hear the
for it.
honesty? Because we have skin for it.
We drove it in our team. Other members of our team drove it in a 24 hours of Nürburgring event. That's where the livery comes from. It's also called the Green Hell Edition.
Oh yeah, I did see that when I uploaded it. I was like, ooh, interesting. So that's the link.
Yeah. That's the only reason why we took the car. I was the first time Flo told me that, do you want to drive TCR? Oh yes, give me the Hyundai with my skin that I made for it. But then we chose over to the Audi, and yeah. I mean, in the end, they don't drive that different that you have to choose the other car to be faster. You can do everything with setup. I can make the Honda drive exactly as the Audi. It's just setup.
Okay, so it has a lot of tunability to it, which I guess makes it which I guess is the reason why we don't really need a BOP, is because a lot of it is just about setup and knowledge around that. So Marcel, Miku, do you feel kind of similar? Do you think what was the reason behind choosing the Civic for this season? Was it wheelbase? Was it setup?
Like the Civic, I think it was just a preference choice, really. It wasn't like anything to do with setup or wheelbase. I think it was just preference. I liked the Civic, so I thought I might as well try it. The
And
setup
I mean,
didn't work
it's not
out.
really too bad.
The setup, the setup didn't factor in too well because I was bouncing all over the place through the chicane. I had the pace, but I was just bouncing all over the place because normally I had my setup set to try to kill all the weight transfer that I'm getting through the corners. And I still have no idea how to kill it completely.
You can't. You can't. That's also a habit that TCR or front-wheel driven cars generally have. You can try to get it really out with extended damper and anti-wheel bar testings. Also bump stops maybe, but I think it wouldn't make you faster. It would make the car slower in the end. If you got rid of it completely, if you don't let it slide, if you drive it perfectly. A TCR isn't a car like a GT3 which wants to be driven perfect. You want to have some oh shit moments because that makes the car fast.
Like I don't mind a bit of slip. But of course too much is killing me.
That's also all about managing tires. So if you're sliding around too much or locking up too much, your tires are just gone. So if you once you figure it out to manage them in a way that they survive the race, you will be pretty much set up for the rest of the season.
So you got time before Brands Hatch.
Good luck to me, I guess.
You got 2 rounds before these guys come back, and then you gotta beat them.
Yeah, maybe we can host a workshop to show some guys how to make a setup.
Honestly, I would even attend that. I would be there.
There are really not many people who really understand how to set up cars properly in Assetto Corsa.
It is one of those skills that you can only pick up in the right environments, with the right people, with the right amount of time spent on the game. Just environment, I guess, as well.
And you also need, mostly it's just feeling and knowledge. What will happen, or why does this happen? For example, I brake into the corner and the rear gets loose, and the car spins out. Why does that happen? And then you go through different things in your head and just start adjusting on some screws test it again. Oh, it doesn't help. Okay, maybe I change I try a completely different way, or I add something else that could add up to this. Yeah.
It's the small changes.
Yeah.
Step by step.
A lot of
Yeah.
driving and learning.
Yeah.
I mean, for
Yeah.
Sebring, we started with a setup that was massively understeery, and now we have a setup that actually works. As the way we ident.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error, I guess, because every time you make a change to the car, you need to take it out, feel how it feels. If it feels a certain way, come back in, change it again, and you can't just make massive changes. Like it's these small increments that you need to hit every single time.
To learn it, it's absolutely great to go into absurd values and just see how the car behaves. What does the car do if I put the camber to the maximum? Yeah, put the camber to the max, drive, and you feel it.
Yeah. So I guess in that sense, it's a great learning opportunity for when you use those extremes of the setup. But when you're really trying to dial it in, I guess you start from like a base point, and then you have to make those tiny adjustments here and there.
Most of the time we do just a base setup on a flat track to get the springs and the dampers and the aerodynamics into a good position. And from there on, if the track is bumpy, or if it's bumpy, you're gonna start with a more not harder.
Stiffer.
More stiffer. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't want it stiffer. I want it
Softer.
more bouncy. Yeah, softer. Thank you.
Oh, you can say more bouncy. That's fine.
Yeah. You make it a little bit more bouncy, and then you have a little bit more work to do on the dampers, so the tires keep contact to the road all of the time. I think dampers is 80% of the work. If you understand how to make dampers, your setups will be way better.
Okay. Because that's the one thing I suck at, so maybe that's why I suck at sim racing.
Dampers
Well, there
do
are some
extra
Dampers.
There are some tools that makes the work a bit easier.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have
good.
two different apps for telemetry interface for in-game. You can use one was called
ACTI.
Yeah, ACTI is the one, and the other one is telemetric. And then you can just use Motec, like the people mostly do with ACC, or I don't know if that's even possible in Lim or Ultimate, or you have to
It is
buy a DLC for it.
in Race Room as well.
Ah, brilliant.
Even iRacing can do that.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
can just use telemetry data and learn how to interpret that, and it's a lot of work. I think from my almost 4,000 hours of Assetto Corsa, probably setuping since 400 hours maximum.
Wow. But I mean, it clearly yields results. Giving you guys a 1, 2, 3 in the second race today, and obviously a couple podium spots in the first. So yeah, I mean, definitely lots to learn for us. Lots to learn for the current grid as well. Arthur, do you have any final questions? I realise you've not managed to get a single word in. Sorry, we've been chatting too much.
Well, I mean, I find it unfortunate that you guys sadly can't make the full season because you really left the mark. So you're always welcome to join the multiple series we have here, because it's clear you guys have what it takes to win.
Thank you. but the next thing is, I'm also not really a sprint race driver. I absolutely love endurance, and 90% of my time spent is only for endurance.
I can really get behind that. I also love my endurance races.
Training for 8-hour race or 12-hour race is something different than training for 30 minutes of get the fuck out of my way.
Language.
Oh yeah, if I have to use a language filter, just tell me.
All good. I did this well the first time, and then Neff slapped me.
I mean, there's a few sound mods, or there are a few soundboard mods you can use where you just press a button and it beeps you out.
Oh, I just make dolphin sounds with my mouth. Everything's good.
I mean, that's another alternative. But then you get into the heated moments, and it just sounds like it's an aquarium. And,
we had a lot of fun on track. It was mostly just laughing or swaying.
I mean, it sounds like y'all had an absolutely awesome time. We had an absolutely awesome time. But I think it is drawing close to that time where we have to wrap up the stream. Any final words from your racers, Romanovsky? Anything from you?
Everything from Phoenix who listens to this. Join the series and everything else.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Get good.
Let's keep AC alive.
Yeah.
Nice, Waller. I heard something about get good.
No. No.
Just get
I'm
good.
not
Come
the
on.
person who tells people get good because I struggled a lot as well today. I just hope we can talk about real penalty again, maybe. So we have even more fair racing because then you need to be on track, not off track.
I mean, something to take up with the stewards for sure. We'll have a chat.
We'll have a chat.
We'll have a chat. Yeah, I know the big dog, so we'll see. Marcel, Miku, any final words?
No, not really. Other than a bit of a disappointing result, but stuff happens.
You've got another 6 rounds to work on that, mate. You'll have 7 actually. So I'm sure you'll manage to wrap it all up at the end. Unless these guys come back to ruin the show again. Just kidding. Schoenfeld, sorry.
No, I was just wanting to say, I know I can take him on. It's just the car wasn't dialed in for this one.
And it wasn't necessarily, the most comfortable track for the car, as Andy was talking about earlier.
No.
So hopefully next race, get everything dialed in, and we'll see some good results.
Well, I think as well it's easier for you when you're used to bouncy springs like drivers from ACC. But yeah.
Yeah, it's all about driving style and getting used to the car and the setup. It's a load of variables. It's a lot to take into account.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
Cool. And then Schoenfeld, any final words from you, our double race winner today?
No, not really. I'll just be happy to attend a few more races this year. And have a great time.
Oh, yes. We definitely will when you get back again. And we look forward to your return. And please pass on our thanks to AC Friends as well for the mods that we've been allowed to use. They are absolutely incredible. As you guys have said, it's just been a joy to see everyone race around in such a great competition.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for your time, for the stream, and obviously for the event to Phoenix. And have a good one. See you around.
Thank you, gents. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye, have a great time.
Just had to sneak that one in. Amazing. Right, Arthur, any final thoughts for tonight?
Well, no, I mean, that wraps up this great race. I'm going to have to hit the A because I have to be up very early tomorrow morning to take pictures for a school thing. So,
Yeah.
Enjoyed the race today, and I'll see everybody next time.
And that wraps up round 3 of our championship here at Phoenix Sim Sport Season 16 TCR. It's been an absolutely incredible race. This has been Yanis. This has been Arthur. We also had Schoenfeld, Waller, and Liam Ramyanovsky, as well as Miku here joining us in the commentary box tonight. Join us next week for round 4. We've also got, as we said, a couple other championships running as well on Thursday and Friday nights for AC here on the channel. We've got, what's it again? My brain's still trying to process everything that's happened tonight. We've got Tartus on Thursday nights, MX5s, and then TCR on Friday nights, and they'll all be running the exact same calendar. Imola is due next week. That'll be around 4. Do be sure to join us for that. Again, as usual, 9 p.m. GMT. I'm not sure what time that is elsewhere around the world. Is that about 8 o'clock UTC, 9 o'clock UTC, something like that. But keep an eye out on our socials. You'll see it all. But until then, we've also got ACC and Le Mans Ultimate. Someone's also reminded me. We've got tons of stuff happening on the channel all the time, so do be sure to tune in for whichever race you can make. Keep an eye on the channel and you'll probably see the live icon on. But until then, it's been Yanis, it's been Arthur, this has been Phoenix Sim Sport, this has been TCR, round 3 here at Watkins Glen, and we'll see you all later. Good night.